All right. So I don't have a lot of subscribers, but as a prepper and as a survivalist, I'm going to talk a little bit about COVID-19. So I'm going to encourage everybody who does watch this, don't freak out. Panic is the last thing that we need right now. I hadn't realized, I live in a very rural area. I hadn't realized how bad it was really getting until this morning. I went to the local Walmart just to pick up some odds and ends stuff, some fishing tackle for my cane poles, and some wings for dinner tonight. It was a madhouse. It's a Monday morning where most people would be at work. The parking lot was full. There was tons of people in the store. And being me, I just couldn't help but kind of look and see what people have in their carts. Almost everybody had a case notification. It was insane. People buying bottles and bottles of vodka for sterilization, I'm guessing. Or if they get quarantined, I guess to party. I don't know. Interestingly enough, certain things that you would think would be gone weren't. For instance, the bread aisle was full. And people were buying perishable goods. So, like, the meat department was almost empty, except for chicken wings. So I got lucky there. When I was back in the sporting goods section, ironically, a bunch of the survival stuff. Fox News update. So, here's my take on what will happen, or potentially could happen. Worst case scenario, the government institutes a travel ban, meaning you're restricted to where you can and cannot go. They're already doing this on state levels with places like bars, restaurants, gyms, things like that. Which, no, that was not coronavirus, that was just a cough. Mass groups right now would, just in general, would be a bad idea. Similar to when the flu's going around, right? I've known tons of people who were healthy and safe and fine, and then they go to like a concert or a club or wherever, and the next thing you know, they got the flu. Common sense, you know. For instance, toilet paper. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody is buying toilet paper. It makes no sense, right? Like, if you are quarantined for 14 days and you go through a 48 pack roll, or 48 roll pack of toilet paper, you got bigger problems than coronavirus. You probably should have seen a doctor beforehand. What I would recommend to people is, if you're worried about being quarantined in or locked down, when you go shopping, pick up an extra couple cans of soup, a couple cans of vegetables, non-perishable goods, which you should do this anyway. If just common sense practice, right? As a prepper, you should have some stuff stored up. One of the easiest ways to store stuff up is on your normal shopping trips. You know, when you buy your weekly groceries, whatever. Buy a couple cans of this, a couple bags of that. You know, stuff that's not going to go bad quickly. And if you do start to get sick, healthcare is not going to be what we're used to. Things are going to be different. And what I mean by that, so if you got a small fever, right, if you're spiking a fever, and you call your doctor's probably going to tell you stay home. They're not going to have you come in. They'll probably tell you take aspirin, ibuprofen, something to alleviate the fever. And call them back if it gets worse. Right? I know they're working with places like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS Pharmacy. I think Target was one of them they listed. That they're going to be doing these drive-through testing stations. I haven't had one. Knock wood. Thank the Lord. I do know somebody who has. Again, from what I understand, it's pretty painful. Or very uncomfortable, I should say. The swab they use is more like a brush, and up your nose it goes. But by all means, I mean, if you're showing signs of illness or sickness or anything like that, do what's right. Common practices, right? Stuff like washing your hands. Don't freak out. So I was listening to the director of the CDC today. He was doing a live Q&A where you could send in a question, and people were asking some pretty silly questions. Like, should I change my clothes as soon as I get home? Should I hang my coat out in the garage instead of the closet? Should I be wiping down my groceries when I bring them home? To disinfect them, I guess. I don't know. So right now, from what we know, COVID-19 is not easily transferable that way. Now, if somebody sneezed or hacked on your frickin' clothes, yeah, I would recommend changing them right away. But I'm going to stress, don't panic. Panic makes things worse. Italy's going through this right now. They've had riots in their jails or prisons. People have died because of it, because they're not being tested, because they weren't allowed visitors. Okay, this can happen. Facts don't care about your feelings. Don't let your emotions take control of you. Don't let your feelings make you panic, make you do things that are unrational or unreasonable or irrational. Proper English, important thing, right? So, just be smart. Don't feed into the frenzy. If you live in an urban area, you're going to have advantages over us that live in the rural areas. Those of us who live in the rural areas are going to have advantages over you guys who live in the urban areas. But, again, just don't panic. President Trump this morning told people, quit buying up all the water, quit buying up all the toilet paper, quit buying up all the soap, quit buying up all the hand sanitizer. Just be smart, all right? And above all else, pray, right? God knows this didn't catch him by surprise. And America needs to come together during all this. And we can help do that by being rational and responsible and thinking ahead. All right. God bless you guys. Be safe.